this lady had no intentions of moving to Ghana. Just through a conversation, she went to London, Carnival, started speaking to somebody. Somebody's like, oh, why don't you check out Afro Nation? They're going to Ghana. That was it. 6 months on, Jewel Reeves has moved to Ghana. She has sold everything in Washington, in America, and has settled 6 months on. Jewel, from a conversation, you decided to just move.
Yes.
How is this possible?
So, you know, I think people just come into your life at the right times, and I was not even thinking about Ghana. It was not on my radar at all. When they introduced me to Afro Nation, I was like, well, let me go to Ghana and see how it is without an event. Because, you know, like I said, I love London.
Yep.
And I went to London actually during Carnival.
Okay.
And I loved it.
Wow.
But I've never been there outside of Carnival. So I knew that when I wanted to come to Ghana, I wanted to come when it wasn't Afro Nation. So I came in October,
Okay.
fell in love with the country, and was already planning on December for sure coming back to the Afro Nation.
When you say you fell in love with the country,
Yeah.
your parents are Liberian, they moved to the US, and you know, you've lived in America ever since, right? What made you love Ghana? What's so special about Ghana?
You know, it's like, it feels like home. There's like a comfortability that like upon you when you're here. You feel like you belong. Like it's like an easy feeling, you know? And I've traveled so many places, and I've only felt that feeling one time, and that's when I went to South Africa because it was my first time ever going to Africa. But the feelings of landing there in South Africa and then landing here in Ghana, it was like 10 times more intense. Like I had the chills on my body.
Wow.
I felt like I was stepping foot in the motherland for the first time all over again. Like it's just like a calming, like I'm getting chills just thinking about it because I feel like I'm where I need to be, and knew that when I first came in October. Never thinking that I was coming here to live, you know, eventually, but I knew that this is where I wanted to vacation all the time.
But what made, okay, so you've come in October, you've had an amazing time, you feel like home. What made you take that extra step to sell all your things in the US and be like, I'm moving?
Okay, so COVID-19 happened, and I worked for an airline. And as you know, everything kind of slowed down at that point for the airline industry. So they offered their employees different packages, either to separate from the company or to take an extended leave. And I decided to take an extended leave, paid, with all my flight benefits included. And I knew that what they were going to be paying me monthly was not going to cover my rent in DC. So I needed to find a place that I could afford to live and try to start something, an opportunity for myself, build an opportunity. So that's what made me decide on Ghana, because it made sense that I knew that that was a place to call home as a tourist. And it was going to be somewhere that I could afford to live without having to fight to find a job, if that makes sense. So that's why I decided on Ghana.
Wow.
Yeah, for sure.
And did you have, so when you came in October, did you make friends here? Did you have any links whatsoever to Ghana?
I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't. And it's even crazier because as I met people on my trips coming, when I finally told them like, hey, I'm moving, they didn't take me seriously. They're like, why are you coming to Ghana? Like, why would you be leaving the States to come to Ghana? And I feel like people don't understand unless you visit, you know? But even Ghanaians, they also, a lot of them want to go to where I'm from.
Yes,
You know, so they didn't understand. So when I was telling them, like, I was needing help, you know, I needed somebody to help me find an apartment, know what the process was, you know, if I needed transportation. And they weren't even trying to help me because they didn't take me seriously.
They thought you were lying.
They thought I was lying. So when...
Because a lot of Ghanaians see UK, US as a greener pasture, right? And it's been like that for many years because, I mean, your parents were different because there was war in Liberia, so they moved to America.
Right.
But have you heard of conversation, or have you had conversations with people where they're thinking that, you know, definitely the outside is better than Ghana?
100%.
Okay.
100%. I feel like people I come in contact every day that see me, they want to know why I'm here. You know, a lot of them think that I'm here on vacation. They don't even understand like why I'm living here. And so when I even tell people like I've been here for 6 months, they're welcoming me, but they're also surprised, like, you're not going to be here for long, you know? And it kind of is intimidating at times too. It's like, what do you know that I don't know, you know? But I'm pretty strong-minded, so whatever I decide to do, I kind of stick to my mind to it.
Okay, and how was finding a property, a house to live in Ghana?
Yeah, it was the worst experience so far. And I feel like if my heart was not here, I would have went back home. I would have went back to the States.
Was
for
it
sure.
that frustrating?
It was the worst experience ever.
What happened?
I feel like I found an agent through a family friend, and when I the very first day that I met him, he was cool. Everything was fine. He kind of educated me as far as like the agent fees that you have to pay when you see properties. The agent.
How much was the agent fee?
The agent fee was about 50 cities.
Okay, it's about $8.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. So you're paying that for every single location that you're viewing, you know, so it definitely adds up along with the transportation. So the very first day that I went to go look at places, I noticed that I didn't really know the agent, you know, and he was talking amongst the other agents and caretakers as I was looking at places in Tree. But I don't know Tree, you know?
Yeah.
So I didn't really feel that comfortable asking him, like, what are you guys talking about? Or even understanding if he's even telling me, you know, what I'm really listening to, you know? So I kind of felt like, it was intimidating because I don't really know what's going on around me. So that very next day, I ended up having to find somebody that was willing to tour apartments with me. And when I found that person, I was able to tell them, like, every time my agent goes somewhere, you follow them and let me know what they're saying. And that definitely helped.
You're dealing with two agents.
Yes.
One that's finding the property for you, and there's one that's already there that's kind of looking over the property. Okay.
So my agent was more of a luxury style.
Okay.
His places that he had were more luxury. So it was not in my price range.
Okay.
My price range was 2,000 cities, and I didn't want to go more than that. And I think that's about $300.
Yeah, it's about $300 a month.
$300. And the places that he was showing was like $1,000.
Oh.
Right? So it wasn't my price range. So a lot of his properties I wasn't interested in, so he had to take me to places that he had other agent friends that actually had locations. Okay. So yeah, so the very first place I found was in Adjingono. And it was a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom house. It was on the bottom level. I'll be on the bottom level, and there was a lady that lived upstairs. She was from the UK. She lived back and forth.
Okay.
There was someone in the boys' quarters. There was a little couple. So I wanted that. Like, I wanted like a compound where it wasn't too many people.
Yeah.
But then I met their agent for the house, and I had a big issue with him with being on time, which I know that's something that a lot of Ghanaians are working on. But there is American black people time, and then there's black Ghanaian time, okay?
Okay.
I feel like if I'm told to be somewhere at 8 o'clock in America and a black person telling me that, it's more like 9 o'clock.
Wow.
With my agent here in Ghana, it was more like 1 o'clock.
My goodness.
There was even a time where he called me and was like, I'm on my way, and then calls me back an hour later talking about I can't come.
What?
Yeah, you know.
Oh my goodness.
That agent,
and you were at the place waiting for him,
and he's telling me to meet him. Yeah, it really became a problem. But I feel like that was actually a sign that you know, that I feel like that was a sign from God telling me this is not the place for you. You need to move on. But I love the place so much, I decided to move forward. And then later finding out that there was issues with the place that I wasn't aware of.
Wow.
In the States, I feel like when I go to a location, like to go look at a property, there's a leasing office, and they have like models that you can see.
Yeah.
I've never once had to turn on a switch or turn on an air conditioning or turn on a faucet to make sure it's working. Like, I feel like I've never had to do that. And I wish I had known that I had to do that when I first started the process. Because the place that I found, I later found out during the payment process that the air conditioning unit that was in my bedroom was catching on fire. And there was a lot of electrical issues that I was not aware of. And when it came down to having a conversation with a caretaker who was the son of the owner, he basically was letting me know that it was my problem at this point, that he told me that the air conditioners needed to be serviced, which he did tell me that, but he didn't tell me that there was electrical issues. Like, there was more to the story, you know, that I wasn't aware of. And they were not trying to work with me because at this point there was an issue with the payment process with World Remit.
Wow.
So
you had paid him through World Remit. You asked for bank details,
Yes.
which they didn't provide. They just said, do it through World Remit. Okay.
Yeah. And I got a message that very next day telling me that the account holder's details were incorrect.
Wow.
So in that process, I was explaining to them, well, I needed to wait for a refund before I could pay them a different form of payment. And they were telling me, no problems, no worries, go ahead and move in. And at that point, that's when I decided to take a deeper look at what needed to be done before I actually moved in. And that's when I discovered that they had other issues going on. So yes, so they were not willing to help me. I even suggested, well, I haven't paid you all yet. If you don't have the money to do it, you know, do you mind if I use that money to get it fixed? I will give you a receipt. They were not trying to do it.
Wow.
Yeah. So at that point, I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and walk away from the situation. I reached out to my agent that brought me to the place. And he was trying to be the mediator to come to an understanding or come to an agreement that I could still live there. And at that point, when we had that sit down, I found out that the agent of the house had paid an agent fee. So I had to pay $300 as an agent fee.
Wow.
Basically for finding the place for me.
Okay.
As his commission. I found out when I was trying to get the money back from him that he had actually divvied up that money to pay my agent. And my agent gave half of his income or his profit to the person that brought me to him. So remember I told you I had a family friend that brought me to him. So it was like a whole business going on around me. And I'm telling him like, you know, there's things that are happening at this place. Like I want my money back. And instead of him saying like, well, he actually gave me some money, I'm gonna give it back to you, it was kind of a secret. Because when I came to him and I was telling him, did the agent of the house give you money? And he was like, no. And then I literally found out that yes, he did.
Wow, so it's like a chain of people. Everybody has to get paid, everyone has to eat.
Yes.
So everybody was eating.
Everybody was eating. And they were gonna definitely eat. They were gonna have a buffet. After I paid that money, had that money went through, oh yeah, they would have been living large, okay?
Goodness.
Yeah, but it definitely like raised flags, you know, that I don't know these people, so I have to be more cautious. And it would have helped if I had somebody that was here that I trusted and I had a relationship with that took me serious. I don't feel like I would have ran into those issues at all.
Okay.
But it definitely made the process of finding an apartment a lot harder just because I was delayed. You know, I thought I had found a place and now I'm going to all these other places having to pay more and more agent fees and still trying to get my original agent fee that I paid for the first price.
And what do you think about property prices compared to the US? You know, in the US, I'm sure you're paying like $1,200, $300 per month for an apartment. In Ghana, do you think you're getting the same value as what you would be getting in the US?
Not at all. I feel like I'm getting so much more here for less. And I did live in a more expensive state. So there are a lot of cheaper states, but in DC, I was living in a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment in the hood. It was an up and coming hood, but it was in the hood. And I had the bare minimum. It was a very small apartment. Here, I'm paying 1,200 cities per month. I think it's about 200. Yeah, like 200 something. Yeah.
$50, $20. Yeah.
And I'm in a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom estate. You know, I'm with politicians and military men. It's a really nice area. And I have a caretaker, you know, it's a compound where I'm only sharing it with one other person. But I also know that I could go further out and get a lot more for my dollar as well. So it's definitely a lot more reasonable than where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, because some people say, you know, Ghana property, I don't know whether maybe it's the prices of buying they think it's more expensive.
Yeah.
But the rental's okay, right? Okay.
For sure.
Fantastic. Let's talk about life in the US and life in Ghana. Okay. You're working now as an influencer. You worked for an airline in the US for so many years. How was life in the US?
I feel like for me, all I did was work. I was either working or I was traveling. And a lot of times I was working to travel. I would be working to pay my bills and to make sure I had extra money to travel. So it was always go, 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 go. Here in Ghana, it's giving me an opportunity to slow down. Okay. I've always lived a fast life, and I feel like Ghana's pretty fast, Accra's pretty fast paced, but it's allowing me to sit back, relax, become more in tune with myself, find out more about myself. I'm getting chills thinking about it again. You know what I mean? Just because it's like more of it's a calming place to be. And I'm really appreciating that, 100% appreciating it.
So basically, life in the US is more like, you're like a zombie. You're working 9 to whatever, 5, and that's it. You're not having like a social life. Right. Do you feel like you're having more social life here in Ghana? I
think so. And I think it has a lot to do with me being new here. I want to see so many things and meet people. So I feel like I'm more social. I'm always going to events and things like that, but I have time for it. You know, I don't have to worry about going to work to make sure I'm going to be paid to pay my bills and miss out on an opportunity, you know. So I'm definitely feel like I'm more social here. I was social in the States too, but I'm more social here for sure.
Okay. We're going to go for a short commercial break. When we come back, we'll talk about why not Liberia.
Okay.
Why Ghana when you're Liberian?
Okay.
Okay, we'll be right back after the commercial break.
Imperial Homes Ghana and Great Britain has carved a niche for itself within the real estate industry as the premier provider of luxury homes in Ghana and England, with a mission to provide safe, good value, modern housing and personalized estate management services to its clients and customers. All our homes meet the Lifetime Home Standard, as well as the highest standards of engineering excellence, safety, environmental sustainability, and cost efficiency. Imperial Homes, a signature of luxury.
Guba Card welcomes you to the land of gold, Ghana. The Guba Card is a unique loyalty card which gives you the opportunity to enjoy discounts of up to 40% on goods and services. You enjoy discounts of the best of hotels, amazing restaurants, beauty lounges, spas, health centers, fashion houses, and shopping centers in Ghana. The Guba card can also be used as a prepaid Visa card with Access Bank, our partners, offering you conveniences on all payment platforms. Applications is safe, secure, and valuable.
Call us or WhatsApp us on 0245 156 705.
Visit www.gubadiaspora.com. Guba Card, the best discount card in Ghana.
We're in Spintex and I'm still joined by the fabulous Jewel. Actually, your Ghanaian name is what? Ifia. Born on Friday. You look like an Ifia.
I think so too, okay? I think so too.
So, I mean, the question I asked before the break was, your parents are both Liberian. Your dad is actually in Liberia as we speak, but you chose Ghana. Why Ghana?
I did choose Ghana, and it had a lot to do with I've already been here, so I knew that I was comfortable being here. I did not choose Liberia because I'm not familiar with it. Like I was raised by a Liberian woman, but she kind of disassociated herself from Liberia. You know, it was kind of like a mystery. It was always a mystery.
Wow.
So
why did she do that?
Because it was always bad memories. When she came after the war, it was kind of like she was fleeing, you know, going somewhere to be in a safer place, a safer environment. So that's basically the picture I have in my head, is if my mom left there to be in a better position, why would I go there, you know? And that's kind of like hard to say because there's so many misconceptions from Western media in general that are deterring people from coming to the continent. And so I feel like it's definitely my responsibility to now go and tap into my roots and, you know, experience that life. Because I'm sure it's not the same, and it's up and coming as well, and it's evolving. And I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of the evolution of the greater Africa.
Absolutely.
So I will do that. There's so many, like, it's crazy when even saying it. It's so many things that I'm hearing that are not good, that are deterring me from going there. But that's what.
But don't you think that that's what we've always been told about Africa? That there's this negative perception that Africa is not good.
Right.
And I'm sure that you heard that numerous amount of times in the US.
Right.
But when you came to Ghana, you fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And it could be the same when you go back to Liberia right now, that you could fall in love with Liberia.
I'm sure. And it's just like, not even just Liberia, talking to Ghanaians, I want to explore Africa. Like I feel like I live here now in Ghana, but I want to live in other African countries, you know, because it's just such a big place to be. But when I talk to people about going to Togo or Benin, they're telling me no, you know? So it's like, even here in Africa, you know, are telling us not to go to different places in Africa.
It's
so
true.
I definitely will touch into Liberia. Like I said, my dad is there, so building that relationship, it definitely needs to happen this year. So I will go there. Next
So growing up, did your mum, were you eating Liberian food? Was there any cultural links at all for her, you know, teaching you stuff about Liberia at all?
Yes, the food for sure. One of my favorite dishes here is fufu and light soup. Okay. But that's what my mom made. That was my dish that she would make me all the time. Plantains, of course. But you know, she also lived in the Virgin Islands, so it was kind of like that Caribbean, African type of cuisines. But I would say that's the number one way that she made sure it was incorporated in my lifestyle, was allowing me to experience those other different types of foods. Other than like Sunday devotionals, we have devotionals on Sundays.
Okay.
But that was really it. That was really it. It was really just me, my mom, and my sister, and it was our circle, you know? So we really didn't connect too much with our Liberian roots or family until I started getting older. And I started asking questions, and I became more intrigued to find out that I have relatives here that came from Liberia from the war. And I've had the opportunity to connect with them being here now. Wow. So it's like my family is just everywhere.
Yes.
So I'm loving being here, because I know if I was in the States, I would still not even think about it, you know.
Absolutely.
So yeah.
Does your mum see herself as an African, or does she see herself as an African American?
I would probably say an African American.
Wow.
And I think that has a lot to do with how long she's been there as well, and she's kind of lost her I wouldn't say lost her culture, but lost that connection to the continent, or to her country. I would say that she's African American. I would consider her African because she still beat me like an African mom. You know what I mean? So I feel like she still had those things. Yeah.
And how does Jules see herself?
I honestly feel like I'm a world citizen. I really do. I feel like I'm definitely African. I would consider myself African. But I don't even like putting that stereotype on it, because I feel like it kind of separates us. Because people in America, African Americans, they don't know where they're from.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. So I feel like when I say I'm African American, people would probably not even agree with that, because both my parents are African, you know? So I would say I'm the real African American, honestly, because both my parents are African, and I was raised in America.
That's true.
You know, so that's a hard title to put on myself, but.
And do you think that you would ever go for citizenship if Ghana was to offer you to be a Ghanaian fully? Would you accept that?
That's not even a question.
Oh, really?
Okay? I'm trying, okay?
Oh, wow.
I'm trying, and I can say it's not easy to get it here.
Yeah.
It's really not, and I wish it was simpler, but I also understand why it's not. I understand the process of, you know, people trying to go to the States. It's not easy for them to do that as well. Yeah, girl, I want my passport, okay? I need my passport, and I really need it because I have the opportunity to travel, right? And I'm nervous really to go back to the States and they close those borders again. I'm gonna be stuck.
Wow, you don't want to get stuck in the US.
I don't ever want to get stuck in the United States ever again.
What opportunities have you seen in Ghana? Obviously there's negatives, right? There's negative things that you've been, even with the real estate situation that you went through. But through the negative things that you are seeing, are you seeing any positive things that you know that the change will come? There's a potential for change to happen.
I'm seeing a lot of people buying properties here or buying land here and building on them, so you know that people are coming. Whether it be investment properties for real estate or people building businesses. I'm seeing, it seems like a lot of people from the outside. I don't want to say people from the diaspora, but there's a lot of different countries that are coming here and setting up shop. So if they're coming here setting up shop, then for sure our Black Americans or, you know, people of diaspora need to come here and add value to the country or to the continent. I see that technology is definitely an industry I wish I was in, because I feel like there's so many opportunities with that. I think we talked about customer service opportunities as well, on improving customer service here in Ghana.
What have you seen with our customer service? What are some of the examples that you've seen? Tell us.
Okay. So I've always worked in customer service, and I feel like there's always an opportunity to allow a customer to come back, right? You want to make sure you're building that relationship with the customer so they're comfortable coming back. That's why I like this place here at the Good Baker, because whenever I come here, they say my name, you know, they greet me, and they did that on the very first time that I set foot in here, and it made me more comfortable. It made me feel welcome. There's been places here in Ghana where it's like, it's a headache for me to even walk in. Like, they're not acknowledging me. I'm having to call for them to get service. Or they'll give me my food and they're not coming back to make sure that I'm okay. So I'm having to, again, reach out to them to come and help and assist me. In the States, and not even in the States, anywhere in the world that I've traveled, I feel like customer service is a lot better than here in Ghana. And I value that. You know, I'm a person that comes from a culture of tipping. Like, we tip. You know,
Yes.
if we're at a restaurant and a server did a great job,
tip.
I'm giving them something to say thank you,
Yeah.
right? And it doesn't even have to be a set percentage. It's just saying thank you for your,
Yeah.
you know, so thank you for the job. But here, it's kind of like, if you don't like the customer service, you can go somewhere else.
Yeah.
And I feel like even if I have a bad experience, where I've had a bad experience at a club, restaurant type of location, I don't know if I should say the name. And
don't say the
okay,
name.
and it was a really bad experience, and just the way that the establishment is set up is very westernized. So I thought I would be receiving, you know, top
high
tier
standard.
and it was probably the worst customer service I've ever had.
Wow.
And then even elevating the situation to talk to a manager, I'm getting looked at crazy by the manager. So I feel like I definitely want to tap into customer service. I'm just not sure if the Ghanaian community is open to, you know, improving it.
Okay.
Because when you're going to an establishment and they're looking as if you're doing them a favor by being there,
Yeah.
it's kind of, I don't really know. I don't know.
But I mean, it's a big opportunity. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, throughout some of my interviews, people have mentioned about customer service, and I feel like somebody needs to set up an agency and deal with customer service
Yeah.
issues. And
Yeah.
you spoke about mystery shoppers.
Yeah.
For restaurants or
For sure.
hotels or whatever. So it's something that you should look at.
Yeah.
Especially with your background of customer
Yeah.
service
Yeah.
and dealing with airlines and the type of people that you deal with, vast. And so you have that.
Right.
So I think you should really look
For
at that.
sure. And you know, the location that I had went to and I had a bad experience. What I'm noticing is it's not just foreigners that are realizing it. Just like
Yeah.
you know, the Ghanaians are realizing it. But I feel like whenever I'm hanging out with my Ghanaian friends and I'm the only American at the table, they put foreigners, you know, above the Ghanaians that
yeah.
are spending their city here
Yeah.
every day, you know? And I feel like it's normalized. It's like when I want to speak up about the customer service I'm experiencing right there in the moment to the server or to the manager, they're trying to tell me to be quiet, like it's normal.
Wow.
Don't worry about it, adapt. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
it shouldn't
Not
be like
right.
that. You should be upset as I'm upset, you know?
Absolutely.
So I definitely feel like I have to do something. I definitely have to be the part of the change.
Absolutely, you need to be. Was it difficult getting friends? Because you know you had no ties here. So how did you make friends? How did you? Were you confident? Was you just, you know, go to a restaurant, come to the baker house, whatever it is, and then just say hi? What did you do?
You know, so one thing that really did help me is I did join a lot of Facebook groups.
Okay.
I joined a lot of expat Facebook groups. And then when I would go to the meetups that they would have, I would meet other expats as well. But I don't really want to hang out with expats, you know? Like, that's not really what I want to do. So what I ended up doing is I have a sister that's here. We share the same dad. And she moved here with her mom is Ghanaian, so she lives here.
Okay.
So as I started hanging out with her, she was able to then introduce me to her friends, and I've been able to become friends with them, and they've introduced me. So I have a pretty good mix of people, but I also feel like it's kind of hard to bring everybody together.
Yeah.
I like to hang out with everybody together,
Okay.
you know, and that has been hard to do that. I'm noticing that I'm having to hang out with my diaspora friends
Separately,
and
and then the Ghana friends separately. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk about relationships. Have you had anything since your 6 months of being here? Have you seen any Kofi Kwabena?
I've seen some yows.
You've seen some yals?
Yes, okay, some Kofis. Yeah, I think that the dating scene here from a woman is definitely here.
Okay.
There's men everywhere. There's literally men everywhere. And what I've noticed is, because I like to go out a lot, I do go out a lot. I've noticed that a lot of the Ghanaian men here, they travel in packs. You know, it's like not just one or two, it's like 5 of them. They all come
Okay.
into an event together. And so it's definitely outnumbering the women that are there,
Okay.
which I appreciate because I want to be surrounded by men,
Okay.
you know. So I feel like it makes your options a lot bigger. I mean, your chances to meet somebody a lot bigger. It's been very overwhelming at times because I am a foreigner and I do stand out, not just because I'm American, but I feel like because I have dreads.
Yeah.
I have tattoos. So I feel like I stand out and I'm a conversation piece other than being American. I mean, I'm a curvy girl, you know?
of course.
So I feel like, I get that attention, but sometimes it's just a little much.
Okay.
I feel like it could be, I like to have friends,
Yeah.
why can't we just be friends?
Okay.
And I don't feel like Ghanaian men want to be just friends. It's more of, I want to pursue you, and that's good. If somebody knows what they want, that's fine, but don't tell me you want me after the first day. Give me a little bit of time. Let's
Yeah.
get to know each other. So that's the only thing. It's just they can be very aggressive sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, but
So have you found anybody like serious so far?
I have, but I'm kind of taking my time a little bit because I've had a bad experience
Already?
with the Ghanaian
Okay.
previous. Just like being very overbearing. In the States, I like meeting parents. I like meeting my friends' parents, like females. I like
Yeah.
meeting their parents. I like to know families. And I like that because it kind of gives me a better understanding of who you are.
Yep.
And I've met a Ghanaian's family before in December when I came for year return. I
Okay.
thought he was cool. He
Yeah.
was a nice guy. I was interested, but nothing like too serious.
Okay.
And he introduced me to his mom and his sister. She owned her own Indomine shop, so she made me something special.
Okay.
But when I went back to the States,
What happened?
she would call me every day. The mom would call me, the sister would call me, the uncle in Germany would call me, somebody in the state over would call me, and I'm like, I don't even really talk to your son like that,
Oh my God.
So I
From
decided-
one or two meetings?
One meeting.
One meeting.
It was just too much. So I decided that I'm not gonna meet any parents right now. What I'm learning is if they feel like they want to introduce you to their family, it means that they want to be serious.
Serious,
And
absolutely.
I'm not really ready for that right now.
Okay.
I'm kind of just filling out Ghana, meeting
Yeah.
people, hanging out. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
So to end the show, a question
Mm-hmm.
for you is that for people in the diaspora that are looking to come back, what advice would you give them?
I definitely would say take a trip.
Okay.
Make a couple trips. I wish I would have did that just so that I could have more of an understanding of where I wanted to live.
Okay.
Because when I came as a tourist, I wasn't coming to live. So I would definitely come in the intention to start looking for places. Also be open-minded. What I'm noticing here is that there's a lot of spirituality. It's a Christian country or a spiritual country. There's mosques and things.
Muslims, yeah.
So be open-minded and be understanding to that culture. And also be patient. Be very patient, okay? Be patient with the customer service in all industries. Be patient when it comes to your time as well. That's what I would say. I definitely say be open-minded and be patient for sure.
Be open-minded, be patient.
Mm-hmm.
Come 1, 2, or 3 times to make sure that you feel the country, right? You go to places that you might want to stay.
Right.
Do a survey before you finally take that move.
For sure.
But do make the move.
Right. Oh, for sure. Always also connect with somebody. Like
Okay.
build a relationship when you're coming on these trips. Build a relationship with somebody so that they're able to help you while you're in the process or the transition and moving. Because I wish I would have had that. Yeah, for sure.
Guys, I hope you've enjoyed the insightful, short but sweet conversation with Ifwa Reeves.
Yes.
Ifwa
Yes.
Reeves. When you
Abuaje.
Abuaje.
I've added that too.
Oh, you've added that too? Who gave you Abuaje?
My friend. I had to have a Ghanaian name.
Oh
like
my
with
goodness.
Uber and Bolt. Oh yeah, it says Afia Abuaje.
Hey.
Okay.
Ifya Abuaje.
Uh-huh.
Thank you so much for joining me on the show. I hope that you've enjoyed the conversation as well. Guys, make sure you make that transition. See you next time. God bless.